the number of possible frames, the first 6 to go through to the quarterfinals, and a meeting with either Neil Robertson, a 3-times champion, or Wu Yize, a dedicated player and a dangerous one as well. As he proved, Neil, in beating Xiao Gui.
If you might want to say. You know, he's not as gifted as many players. You know, you include out of anything. But he's got it to do here, just playing someone like Williams, who has seen it all, has done it all. You can't. He's not going to win missing those.
Mark Williams, 1.
Brand new. Pang has got himself up to 30 in the world. In fact, his highest career ranking was it's his
no.
Yes, he came to prominence. If that's, I'm saying it like that's a bad thing. Of course, it's a great thing to be one of those. But the fact that he did get to that round 2 experience, and he wants it as much as anybody. I know that we hear all the time they get.
Yes, and that match you mentioned against O'Sullivan on his debut at the Crucible showed. And then last year, he came through qualifying to get to the last 16 where he lost it, that you don't want to be taking lightly.
We were right behind the line of it. Of course, he was nowhere near. Slightly unexpectedly, I think.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot. The interesting part of Pang Junxu's game is cue, the back of his backhand, where he grips the cue. I don't think I've seen many players do that. Look at he's on the ping, that's okay.
He's not the heaviest scorer when he... But he's clearly a tough competitor with a good temperament.
That was a good shot, Philip, wasn't it?
60. $24.
But now what? Because he looked... Well, he's done particularly well to use the pocket and force an angle, but going into reds.
A very healthy lead, but not a decisive one. He's a right when he was 50.
Foul.
Keep giving fouls away at this point. He's hit this harder anyway. Has he left one here? To middle? I wonder. So, Pang Junxu, barring Snookers, is going to take this first.
Thank you. Pang Junxu.
Nice connection there from Williams. His way out in front, having won in Jeddah, the Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters, to net £500,000, the same prize.
Of course, I'd love to do.
One.
A lot to do for Williams to win this frame, of course. He needs snookers, but at the very least, it's a chance for him to be clothed. He had a tough match with Dave Gilbert in the sort of early tester that can stand you in good stead for the rest of the event.
Yes, and the other thing, of course,
25.
where would you like the last red to be? Well, exactly where it is, where the cue ball is here. This frame is not over with, I can tell you. Especially if, in getting this snooker, he can nestle the red up against the bulk. Pan Junxu cannot make contact. Oh, he's got to get the snooker, though. That's a sin. He might have got a snooker behind the other bunch of reds, but really... Williams missed a trick there.
Mark Williams made his debut in this tournament and regained it 3 years after that, beating Ken Doherty in a thriller, 10-9.
Yes, I think, you know, when you look at the class of 92, they've played a huge part in the history of the game, haven't they? And you know, game is littered with performances by all three of those.
Yes, one of the more remarkable UK finals featured two of them, Williams and Higgins, for Williams in this tournament. And not having much joy at the moment getting the snookers he needs in this opening frame. He still requires... got over the line in the end.
Williams is not known for carrying on when needing... This is not an impossible equation, actually. It was more appealing earlier. That first snooker he could have got the points with.
Last year, the Welsh Open the year before. So he's had a number of deep runs in big tournaments. 2 snookers he requires.
that's the first frame in the bag, and Williams sits down knowing that he's only going to get up again to commence frame 2.
Dominated this frame. Williams never really looked like getting the snookers he needed.
Junxu 3.
A great start then for the qualifier. Pang chasing the game thereafter, but he did get an opportunity to get a feel for the table in his ultimately failed attempt to get the snookers. So 1-0 Pang.
Achieve that goal at all.
Yeah. Thanks, man. 5.
We were talking Higgins and Higgins in terms of their relative achievements to his. Quite deprecating, self-deprecating. Maybe part of that, Neil, is the fact that he's so good at absorbing the old frustrating miss. He just gets on with the job.
Yeah, Q, and this green is a little more difficult. Very nicely and coolly played. I wouldn't blame him. Still plays well, doesn't he?
Well, a couple of seasons ago, he stated his intention of trying to stay
23.
a ranking event winner already this season. Last season, he came within a ball. Never looked in. Wasn't easy.
30.
Shots like that into the centres never are, because
that was a big moment, really. You know, could have got in again there. Pang.
he's in Wigan, including a couple of 147s to take the tally to a record 16. Concentrate on the next shot. His legend. Of course, it helps when you've got his sort of CV. He's got nothing to prove.
5.
And he's still doing his fair share of winning.
That's well struck. That is one of his better shots of the afternoon.
30.
So Williams looking good to level up here. Got back in with the double.
29.
And this red will do the job.
37.
And as Philip said, you know, we've not been seeing barrage of centuries. We might be seeing one here.
Was 89. Closing in on 700 now for his career. He might well have had a lot more. Pretty much end the frame himself. Maybe a bit more keen on making them now. Conscious of the fact that despite recent
61. $67.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been a player nearer. As you point out, he wasn't that concerned earlier in his career. So to get to three figures, and even here, it will just be a nice
76.
confidence booster. He was favourite to win this match, of course.
79.
It's not the easiest game, Pang Junxu.
80.
Pang had half a chance to launch a counter after wasn't able to take it.
88.
And this has been very nicely put together. A very economical style, Williams.
94.
Brilliantly simple for the century.
101.
His first of the 2025 edition of the UK Championship. Mark Williams, first of the tournament.
It's not a very good shot, though. I mean, it really has. Although it hasn't gone in.
And how... Oh, but that's an opportunity that's gone begging, having played the loose safety and having seen...
In fact, I can think of tables it probably wouldn't have even hit the jaws. Just would have been swallowed up, but not this one.
It's normally a strength of Pang's, his long game, but he's missed a couple in this frame.
Foul. Pang Junxu 4. Yeah, Mark, yeah.
I think he was saying that the red that he was deemed very thin. Well, he played it well. He just got enough of it. But as you saw, it was a glass.
Seven.
Well, it may not be that he played on that.
50. $23.
It was a great initial red to get in for Pang. very, very thin. He's now well placed to retake the lead. He's always had a pretty deliberate style, Pang. He's not a quick player. I think very dedicated to the cause.
13 now.
Yes, I mean, he's a slightly manufactured player, which, of course, sounds like an insult, actually. He's got a burning desire, though, to get to the top, which was in that win against Xiao Wudong, who, interestingly, in the 2 frames he won, made hundreds, century breaks. So they only win a frame.
55.
Well, the 2 nicely done. And players might have just screwed back for the blue there, but he points here. It's his highest break of the UK Championship so far. After, so it's been a good break. The cue ball not under complete control, but not that far.
When he first came to the table, it didn't. And he's already done better than he did when they played previously, when he was beaten 6-1 in the Shanghai Masters. Impressively, with 76 to make it 2-1. Still 2-1 Neil Robertson against Wu Yize.
Well,
Thanks, Mark.
well, he overscrewed markedly
Mark Williams
on the red, and I think he believed that maybe that yellow. Well, a beautiful shot. He floated that in, but well, that's fine on the bottom red.
Five.
Because there's a shot on the next red from the ping here. Yeah.
12.
The second black off its spot that he's missed today, and that one was never threatening the pocket.
One.
Yes. Unfortunately, he takes an eternity on the shots.
7.
I think he takes too balance a bit, quite honestly. Some plants are unmissable, and was not one of those.
It's now 10 out of 10 with the rest for Pang in this tournament.
8.
That was really nicely played, in fact, controlling that cue ball. Oh no, he hit that very poorly. Very poorly.
1.
79% pot success, and yet Pang. Mark really for these top players. But that's a let-off for sure.
No. $70. $23.
I don't think he was entirely sure about that one, and there's a bit of movement because
Mark Williams. 28.
So the break ends premature.
a little bit annoyed and frustrated. I think Pang has got the ability to frustrate his opponents. That's a good save. Well, I think he played the cross double, but you know, it's a little dangerous.
Well,
Certainly doesn't want to play a pink. I think the pink would have spotted and maybe just covered the reds. That's the point. And clearly well, but he took a couple of minutes having a look.
7.
Has to be wary that this frame could get away from him.
Mark Williams. 14.
Tremendous shot, wasn't it? He brought that cue right back there. Bringing them into play is slightly different. Trying to hit the black. I think he should have done better there, really. Not very much second prize, but he has got the snooker. And there's an argument he's able that's awkward. This is the problem, you see. He's hit it, but left it. Now, yellow and green was...
Once again, playing with pace.
Hit them too hard. Why he chose that sort of speed on it, I've got no idea. Williams slightly lucky for the red to go close.
Nicely played. He needs the pink in order to win the...
Well, this next shot is huge. I mean...
Junxu. 7.
Second prize with the yellow running safe, but the
because of the blues in the way. Yeah, I mean, that was not any fun, that shot.
Foul.
You know, usually, had the blue not been there, and he was still behind.
nicely cued.
To completely control it. Oh, that was, he's played 2 delightful shots here, in fact.
Got the brown in just now. Needing a snooker. Got the snooker. And now he's 3 pots away from a 2-frame cushion.
14. 20.
This 4th frame. In goes the black, and from needing a snooker, he's pinched it. And what a big frame that 4th frame was, because it looked as though it was going Williams' way, particularly when Pang accidentally knocked a brown low 80%, and yet he's won 3 of the 4 frames, Neil.
The red up, you know, and that 4th frame would have hurt Williams losing it in the way that he did.
Mark Williams.
It's not been the most flowing snooker so far, but Pang is just very effective at what he did. Wuhan Open champion Xiao Guodong. A match which only featured 1 break of substance, but he still won it.
Well.
That was a great shot. And they're very unlucky. I mean,
Oh, that's a really good pot.
6.
There was barely any room past the red. He had to hit it perfect.
he's up top side of the when he played the brown.
$16. $23.
Turned professional Pang
30.
back in 2020 via his results on
Away from all that, he's broke the plant up anyway.
35.
3. As Williams finds a long-range plant. Last year to Stuart Bingham, who of course suffered that extraordinary defeat at the hands of Scott Donaldson from 5 up with 6 to play in qualifying this year.
Six.
A bit close to the cushion, the black, and we've seen them miss, but given the amount that have been missed in there, and he's missed another one.
Mark Williams, 6.
nowhere near. It was difficult, for sure. So Williams doesn't play up now, Williams, to get back into this contest. It's been a bit subdued from him so far today, the century aside.
Nine.
Mark Williams probably feels that every time he's taken any sort of a risk, he doesn't offer such easy position. But he's played it pretty well, it seems. He will racing down for the red, so good shot.
60. $23. $30.
Not to take this red ball round the angles. See, the red is not going to be
Mark Williams.
going into a position where he's got the snooker. He made a mistake.
One. By Junxu. One. Foul in the miss.
I don't think he could have played that shot any better.
Four.
It's a beautiful shot. He has got some nice touches, you know. He shot from yellow to green. It's actually a good shot from blue to yellow on the free ball.
And the initial snooker. Williams is a bit out of sorts.
11.
But a lot of that is to do with the way that Pang has competed. Blue and pink.
16.
For a very commanding advantage.
$22.
Doesn't bother with the black. More than a little frustrated at the way this afternoon's panning out. When he made the century to level at 1-all, you were expecting him to kick on from there. It has.
That's not going to cheer him up greatly at all.
Close, but not quite. And Mark Williams really needs to find something. He's cut a frustrated figure for potted some key balls at key moments. He's only made one break of over 50 himself, a 76 in the third frame. Most of them 2 frames away from a first UK Championship quarter-final appearance against the man Williams. That was at the Shanghai Masters a couple of years ago, 6-1. This has been, Neil, a very different story.
It has. It's been a frustrating afternoon. He's very much in front on. What he has done, Page and Sue, is pop the important balls.
12.
You know, that fourth frame. He's been kind of bogged down a little bit by a pretty...
1999. And then again in 2002 against Matthew Stevens and Ken Doherty, respectively, 5 to play. As he goes into the reds. But in
28.
It's a good, but sort of stun or even a little bit of screw, the cue ball just ploughs into the budge, and we saw a great example of it on that.
He gets on with it.
35.
But it's been difficult to establish fluency today, aside from that century 7. And as Neil mentioned, the frame just before the interval was a big one because it looked red, tricky yellow, allowed him to clear up.
43.
And in the previous frame, he laid another snooker. It's been something he struggled to do. He missed a couple of blacks off their spots earlier in the match when he was opponent.
$15 now.
Yes, it's ironic, is it? The couple of frames sew the frame up for him.
65.
His pot success is actually significantly better than Pang's at 1%. But it's been about potting the key balls, just as Zhou Yulong was able.
73.
But this is more like it from William. Second on the one-year list.
80.
So set fair for the players. And also ranked above his fellow class of 92 greats, so Sullivan and Higgins. Particularly when you consider that a couple of seasons ago, his being inside the top 16 by the time he made 50. Tour.
93.
And maybe this is the beginning of a full-scale comeback.
$100.
The second century of the afternoon for Williams. Been a lot to write home about in between.
103.
But this was a must-win frame.
107. 112. Mark Williams, 112.
A second century of the day then for Mark Williams, the two-times champion. Pang is a former ranking runner-up. He made the final of the WST Classic. And he's proved that even though he's not the heaviest scorer, that doesn't...
Quite a difficult shot to play at that.
7.
Quite peculiar though, that. I'd be unlucky. So he's going to have to play the snooker.
Mark
Reluctantly.
Williams,
He also gave Ronnie O'Sullivan a run for his money on his Crucible debut 2 years ago.
The black here, I think, off the side cushion. Seems to have a long way to travel still, doesn't it? No. Amazing game, isn't it? It really is. There's no way he would have played that shot.
Situation around and go on to get into the quarterfinals. He'll look back on that moment as the blue.
7.
Last season, he did win the Champion of Champions. He was runner-up at the Crucible, and of course this. And that was good cueing, and Williams is suddenly looking like a very different proposition.
$26.
Oh, that's fantastic. Goodness, what a break this is. It's only
Further than he wanted to for position, so just the snooker, but as Neil says, that was some contribution. Numeric.
played it well enough. You know, because if he could get himself in front and win this frame from behind and go 5-2 up, then he should.
One.
Came through a tough match against Dave Gilbert. And used the full width of the pocket there.
This is very impressive for Williams, isn't it? I think he recognises he's starting to do that.
30.
He's gone a bit too far there. Wanted to be quite straight. So any colour.
20.
Well, no hero spare, no hero not potted the ball for 35 minutes of playing time. Probably feels like a lot longer.
Mark Williams.
Oh, that's a very intelligent shot, putting the black safe. A bit of a mini. I think he'll be frustrated that he just couldn't pop that and get the frame one.
He won't have given up all hope here, Pang. He's already won a frame in this match. She'll be pretty impressed with the way her son has performed to this point, but maybe a little concerned that Williams has begun to look. Well, that surely signals the end of looking for parity from 4-1 down.
Williams has shown great patience, great experience, because a 4-1 down, it didn't look like he... But at the moment, this is the 40th minute since Junxu potted a ball. So if Williams was frustrated, I'm sure this game really does test you. All the practice that players put in, but a situation like that, where you're waiting for a chance all that time... That's a good safety shot. That's very good.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The amount to just one ball because he's rolling up behind Brown.
100.
Well, I don't think he knew to.
Foul. Miss.
Well, that's going to go back all that now because the class of 92, they throw everything they've got at you.
Left by the Turkish Masters, which was abandoned after 1 year for contractual reasons.
Overwhelmed actually for a couple of frames, but that was a terribly poor shot. Sometimes you make mistakes that are unavoidable, but that was certainly an unforced error or something. Oh, it's gone in. The red's gone in. Yeah, I mean, if ever Junxu knew something like that to happen. Oh, that's not a good shot either. Goodness.
Well, that was very well cued with the rest by Pang.
Amazingly good shot there.
Rest throughout this tournament. It's 12 out of 12 now.
The frame that he won, just a very tough opponent.
12.
But occasionally he overdoes it like that. And Philip highlighted his rest play, and that is another delight.
Nineteen.
And he has been extremely accurate. That is a beautiful shot on the table.
Red into the centre pocket in the process.
I know, and the thing is, he's played to move the red over the pocket, and he's almost played it too well. To
32.
Undoubtedly, that moment has changed. Beginning to lose his grip on this match. Now in a position where he can get it back again.
But he's responded to the pressures that have been put on him by the former three-times world. There's so evidence that his rest play is absolutely outstanding.
Junxu. 53.
An excellent break of his prowess with the rest. Williams can count himself very unfortunate for the way his break ended.
What?
And it is Pang's temperament that is back appointments, but Pang very good at staying in the moment, even when he's being outplayed, as he was for a couple of frames. And that's why he's getting the results. A very tough competitor. And now he can't miss.
$70.
Well, look at the shots he's playing here. This is remarkably good. Many shots like this from Junxu. Play with all kinds of side and screw everything. Maybe he was stuck on 4 frames for quite a while at 4-1
29.
to 4-3. Didn't pot a ball. Hey.
An eventful frame for sure. At the back end of that 8th frame, after Williams had the misfortune to see the red drop in along with the pink, just when he built up a real head of steam, and then
yes, and Williams has been knocking in.
One.
High break, everything. And we saw a match like that, well, yesterday with Ronnie O'Sullivan. And the winning line is in sight. I don't think he's hit the ball better.
and had it not been
Hello.
for that bizarre foul by Williams, he might not have got the chance to.
$70.
Yes, wanted a lowish angle, which he's got here, to disturb those two reds. That's very nice. He doesn't like it, but I think that's okay.
$32.
Well, he'd be more than happy with that outcome. He's pushed a red out.
$37.
He said that nicely. He's opened more reds, and this is beginning to look.
He's not the most gifted player on the tour. I think that would be fair to say, but
45.
he makes up for it.
Just give me a second. 52.
He looks very composed. He has been a ranking finalist. He's been a semi-finalist on a couple of other occasions, but to beat Mark Williams, deal for Pang.
58.
And he's played quite superbly in the last.
Yes, and he's
66.
It's been a very, very good break this actually, and without potting a ball or even looking like potting a ball, has been outstanding.
And it all turned on that. It's been all Pang. And with that red, the game is definitely up. What a time. And what composure he's shown.
Ninety.
In these 4.5 days, pockets are tight, but he's been on most of the Belgium when you're on easy balls all the way through.
Break from the qualifier. Mark Williams began to turn it on from 4-1 down, got it back to 4-3.
Yeah, there was a real turning point, a misfortune for Williams, but Pang has leapt in from there. It's been exceptionally good. This is on, quite honestly.
116 the frame.
A 116 break to finish. What a moment.